Is optimism dead? I mean, you saw the title of the video. Uh, you guys are Centaur here, and I'm going to be asking the age-old question: is optimism dead? Especially in this day and age where you have a lot of people who are doomerists on online. And granted, this could be a chronically online take, but I do think there's validity to it. I think a lot of people these days are very nihilistic about the world, and for good reason. Like, for example, here in the UK, um, like a lot of people in our generation, like in Gen Z, for example, it's estimated that none of us will even own a home, and it kind of like that's like one of the social progressions, right? Social mobilities in the world. It's like, oh, well, most of us are going to be, renting and paying for a rich landlord, and it's like, I guess like there's a lot of uh, think of like, oh, what's the point of work? There's a lot of the sentiment of what's the point of working, what's the point of like grinding it. Like most of us will just never own anything, and I think there's this idea that, oh, like, especially like with boomers, like they think a lot of like zoomers are lazy, and I want you guys to like at least like see it from our perspective. Like for example, just even like the job market itself. Like I've been applying for a job every single day without fail. Not even joking, every single day. But like I haven't like it's I'm pretty sure I've applied for over like 100 jobs by this point, and even like I've called them up as well, and even with calling them up, like half the time, actually not even half of them, majority of the time they don't even answer. Like I've called literally the other day like a pub, and uh, I called them like 5 times and no one picked up, and that's the unfortunate like world of this. Even like entry level jobs require experience, and obviously not to like sugarcoat what like people went like uh, the struggles of back in the day. They had problems too, but I'd say it's like one of those things where back in the day it was really hard to find a job, so that's why it was like they'd struggle a lot longer. But like when they did find a job, it would be like through like a newspaper listing. They could apply for it. Whereas for us, it's like it's easy to find a job, but it's hard to get that job because it's easy for everyone to find the job because it's available everywhere. So everyone's applying for it. So why would they choose you? When that's why you had it's like this inflation, right? Um, Even within entry level jobs, why they choose you when they can just get someone with 2 years experience, even though the job is really easy, right? Like, for example, like so many retail jobs I've applied for, it's like, oh, you need a year of retail experience, but I've worked in customer service, I've worked as a food runner, like surely, like I'm technically overqualified for that, but it is what it is. And obviously, there's no to just talk about like jobs, like even like or like money in general, like even like the idea like the whole climate right now with like the gender wars on like social media and stuff like that. It's like there's a lot of vitriol against um, just between each other as well. It's just there's this idea of like, oh, like we shouldn't give empathy to each other. There's this thing of like blaming the other person, and a lot of it's valid. I'm not saying like you can't. There's no place to like call out like shitty behavior, right? But I think it's gotten to a point where um, rather than like empathizing with each other and seeing where each other's coming from, it's like, oh, this person's wronged me. Fuck them. They're everything wrong with the world, and I think I know with like majority of things, there's nuance, right? Like and granted, I can't speak on everyone's behalf. Like, if you've been like, an abusive relationship or whatever, obviously that's different. But I'm saying, in general, like, I think there's a lot of times where people will get into arguments or people will get into, I guess, like, or like people will just have bad experience on like dates, for example, and then be like, oh well, this is how all men are like or all women are like, and it's just I don't know. I find it's kind of like silly, but granted, what do I know? I'm just a 21-year old, right? But yeah, I think it is sad though. It is sad that we are seeing like a lot of like problems. There's a lot of like doomerism, and as corny as this sounds, I think the world could use a lot more optimism and just empathy in general. Just where we're like just together, like we're where we all help each other and just be out for each other, right? Because it's like it's such a dog eat dog out dog eat dog world right now, and granted it's always been like that, but I think especially due like from recent years, it's that kind of like thinking has been exacerbated, and yeah, it just sucks, but hopefully over time people will change. And I guess for me personally, like, while I do agree optimism dead is dead, I do I do try my best to like keep being optimistic, because I still want to strive towards my goal. Having said that, I'm not like delusional. I'm not gonna be like, oh wow, and ignore the problems that do exist. I can acknowledge them, but also be like, you know what, I acknowledge my position in the world, and obviously not to like make it personal, but I do go through a lot of struggle myself. But I can acknowledge that and then be like, you know what, I still want to work hard. I still want to grind. I still want to make my like dreams into reality. And yeah, but I guess generally, this is just a random like ramble video. I don't know if I said anything worth of substance, but yeah, I just yapped. But I don't know. Hopefully things can change. Hopefully, you know, there's more safety nets. Hopefully, wealth equality, inequality, like decreases. Um, yeah, is what it is.